Konami is working on a new game in a, quote, globally known IP. This is from Emily Guerra over at VG247. It says Metal Gear Solid publisher Konami is working on a new console IP. The article reads, Metal Gear Solid publisher Konami is working on a currently unannounced console project based on a, quote, globally known IP. But it isn't Metal Gear Solid and it isn't Silent Hill. Konami's European president, Masami Sasso, offered this tantalizing, vague tidbit to GamesIndustry.biz, describing the publisher's console plans in the wake of its recent successes on mobile with titles like Yu-Gi-Oh! Things have been relatively quiet for Konami throughout this console generation. The Japanese publisher has released only a few games for console platforms in recent years, including Metal Gear Solid 5 and its spin-offs, Super Bomberman R, a Yu-Gi-Oh! Release, and its annual Pro Evolution Football series. Likewise, its latest physical results, which show a fifth consecutive year of profit growth, is largely a story of PES and mobile successes. But Konami has not forgotten about consoles. Quote, even with new platforms coming out, we believe high-end console games are the most important. We challenge for innovative ideas and technology within our console games and apply them to other devices. So we will continue to put effort into our console games, end quote, the Konami head said. Quote, we also plan to increase our portfolio in addition to the multi-device titles for PES and Yu-Gi-Oh! We plan to work on projects with other globally known IPs in the near future, end quote. So Konami is still out there. Konami is still doing things. They still believe in the console space. It is not just mobile games and pachinko machines. Apparently, they still think that console is a place where they can make money. I don't know. I don't know what Konami's redemption arc is following the just complete and total PR clusterfuck that was the breakup with Kojima. There is a slew of individuals who just hold to the fuck Konami, never Konami idea that anything that Konami puts out, they will never be able to support. And it's just going to be hard to envision a release that can get people excited enough to drown out those voices, to drown out the people with a dissenting opinion against Konami. Do they still own Castlevania? I'm trying to think of like, what is a globally known IP that we know Konami works in that they could be working they could be working on a game for that isn't Metal Gear Solid and that isn't Silent Hill. Does Konami own Castlevania? But even then, like, okay, they do. They still own Castlevania. They still own Contra, so they can still possibly be working on a game in those spaces. But again, Castlevania will not have its original creator. It won't have the name behind it that people associate with Castlevania. And so it's hard to see them like trying to get people excited about this game. I think regardless of what they're trying to do, they're always going to be followed by that sentiment, that fuck Konami sentiment. And if mobile is the place where they're able to find success, like, more power to them. If pachinko machines are the place where they can find success, more power to them. But I don't know. I'm interested in it. I don't think anybody is really clamoring and saying like, oh man, really can't wait for that next Konami game to be announced. Man, Konami's really been quiet, hoping they come out and say something. You don't see people in their E3 predictions being like, Konami's going to be on stage this year, showing something off. What was the Metal Gear Solid spinoff called? Metal Gear Survive. That's right. Metal Gear Survive. 5.5 from Polygon, 3.5 out of 5 from Games Radar, 6.5 out of 10 from IGN. 26% of Google users like this game. So you have to imagine it was probably review bombed. I don't think Metal Gear Survive was a commercial success. I don't think it was I know it wasn't a critical success. And so I just don't know what Konami can do. Pro Evolution Soccer succeeds for the same reasons that like Madden succeeds with EA. That yes, EA has the stigma among hardcore fans of like being an evil corporation who takes advantage of people through loot boxes, yada yada yada. They've got that stigma, but Madden is such a casually connecting game. It connects to so many casual players that they don't see the evil EA corporation. Like they see the mistakes and the negative points in their little microcosm of Madden, but they don't see it at the larger, grander scale that may be able to motivate them. They just want to play a football game. And the same thing with Pro Evolution Soccer. Like, I think it succeeds because people don't associate it with Konami as much as they just associate it with Sim-style soccer. Sim-style soccer. Sim-style soccer. And so they either overlook that it's Konami that makes it, or they're just unaware of all the shit that Konami has done and buy it. So, yeah, Konami working on some IP. A new game and a globally known IP.